What's up, y'all? In this video, I'll go over a workflow using the Dirtywave M8 and external instruments. You can use the M8 as a multi-track recorder, and it's really easy to record super long takes or performances, and then be able to drop them into the pattern and have them play in sync because of certain controls that are on the sample edit screen. I use this workflow when I'm streaming quite a bit, and it's really one of my favorite ways to make music with the M8. So let's check it out. So there are a few things you need to set up for this workflow. The first is having an external instrument that's sending its audio to the M8 to line in. So here I have the Ableton Move, and the audio is going out and into the M8 to line in. And the next thing to do is to turn the input up on the mixer page. So I usually set this to B0 or C0. And so now I should be able to hear the Ableton Move. And then I also like to have a basic rhythm section that I can play along with. So on this first track, I've set up this slice drum break, the very simple pattern. And then after that, the next step is to go to the instrument page and load up a blank sampler instrument. And there are a few settings to change in the record menu. So from here, you'll want to set the volume to the same amount that you set it for on the mix page. So mine's B0. And then you'll want to turn arm to 00. And then for the song setting, I'm going to put this at 00 because that's where my rhythm section pattern begins. So this is the row on the song page that will play when the recording starts. And with that out of the way, we're ready to record. And usually for the first recording, I like to play random chords and just experiment with different voicings. And I try to make sure that I play the chord at the start of each bar or phrase, because that'll help when it comes to slicing the recording later. So let's see if I can record something good. And then once you've played as much as you like, you can stop the recording. And I like to let the recording go for one additional bar or phrase in case there's any decay or tail end of the sound fading out that I want to capture. And so the next step is to edit the length of the sample to be an exact number of phrases. So this will help with slicing the recording and triggering the sample from different points. So you have to highlight the select parameter on the right, which is the end parameter. And then you hold Option and press left to adjust the length by steps. You want to set it to a number with 0 steps, so here I'll stop it at 63 phrases and 0 steps. I'll also normalize the recording because it's a little quiet. And I'll crop it so it's the exact length, 63 phrases. The recording is 63 phrases long, so I want to slice it into 63 even parts, so I'll use the slice 63 command. And now each slice corresponds to the start of each phrase, which is when I was playing the chords. Nice. They're not all winners, but I'm sure I can find some to make a nice progression. So let's give it a random name, and then save it. And once that's done, we're back on the sample screen. And generally when you slice a sample, you want to change the slice parameter to 01 file. But I'm not going to do that for this one, because if you set it to 01 file, then the sample will stop playing once it reaches the end of the slice marker. But if you leave it at 00, the sample will continue to play through to the next slice. So actually, I'll show you an example. I have this empty phrase afterwards, and so once it finishes playing this slice, it'll stop playing when it gets to the next phrase. but if I leave it at 0, 0, it'll continue to play through. So we've got it on off, and the next part is basically just scrubbing through the recording and finding some interesting chords that I can then sequence. So this one actually sounds pretty nice. And then what I usually do is I will clone the phrase by holding Shift, Option, and Edit. So that basically makes it so it's got the slice marker and the note at the top, and all I have to do is change the slice number to have it play a different chord. And so at the end of this slice, there's actually a few extra notes that I played when I was playing the next chord. It happens around step E or step D. So usually to clean that up, I'll use the PLY command, which allows you to play samples in reverse, and it'll do it from the point that it's at when it's playing it back. So let's see what that sounds like. That cleaned it up pretty well. Then we could probably do another one here. I'm thinking something maybe lower. This one might be good to end on. Then let's see if I can find that lower one. So I think that's a fine progression. And you can also add some extra effects using the M8's send effects. So let's see what it sounds like with delay. And what I'm just realizing is that this slice, it kind of starts playing a little bit late. So you can also adjust the start point of the slice with the STA command. So setting it to 0, 2 basically just moves the start point a little bit ahead. So that might sound good. And then this one too is a little bit late. And then just like before, I think I need to put the reverse command so it doesn't play the next note. Alright, so that's like a basic melody, but you can kind of just rinse and repeat and continue to add layers. So let me try adding another layer. Then just like before, we'll highlight the endpoint, hold Option and press left until it's an exact number of phrases. And then crop it. And then we'll slice it. It was 9 phrases long, so I'll slice it 0, 9. Then give it a random name. And we're good to save it. Here's what it sounds like with some notes in the phrase. So there is kind of a click when it stops playing this slice, and that's because this slice has silence at the beginning. So you can hear it doesn't really start the bass note until it gets to step 4. To make it so it doesn't get cut off by this silence, you can offset the start point of the slice, similar to what I did when I set the Rhodes slice to STA02. But this time I'll move the note further in the phrase so it triggers when the bass actually starts playing on step 4. There's a trick you can use to keep the recording in time with the pattern when moving the notes around. You have to set the STA value to the same number as the row of the note. So here it's in row 4, so I'll set the STA to 40. I think it's doing the same thing on this step too, so I'll just do the same kind of workaround here. STA 40. It already kept the value. So yeah, let's keep adding some layers. So that's the external instrument multi-track recording workflow on the Dirtywave M8. So you have to set the recording to start at the same time as the song using the controls in the sample edit screen. And then you crop the recording to an exact number of phrases, slice the recording, and then after that it's pretty easy to sequence various points of the recording. It's definitely one of my favorite workflows, and I encourage you to try it out. And that does it for this video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.